Welcome everybody back to Marina Bay Capital's channel. We have another special guest for you guys today as we sit here with Executive Director of Marina Bay Capital, Mr. Albert Fan. Albert, how are you doing today?
Very good, Michael. Everybody, thank you for listening in. It's a pleasure for me to accept this short interview with Micah. Delighted and wish you all very well back where you are from.
Fair enough. Yeah, Albert, you're coming to us from the other side of the world there. And thank you for taking the time. And I'm real curious to get to know you a little bit more. So talk to me about your past experience and the journey that led to you to where you are today.
Sure. Thank you, Michael. Yes, I'm actually from Singapore. That's the other part of the world. Between Micah, yourself, and myself, I've spent 20 years of my earlier part of my career working for multinationals. Big names like IBM, DHL, and my strength and my coverage at that point in time at those key appointments is for me to manage the Asia Pacific countries. So with 20 years with corporate, I have learned the way multinational operates in those countries. And the later part of my 25 years up to now, I spend my time being an entrepreneur, running some of my family business, looking at some investments. Spend lots of my time working with people in different parts of the world in various partnerships. So Marina Bay is one of those that we are looking forward to support from many of you, and therefore that's briefly my coverage. I studied in Singapore. I have a master's. And then spent a lot of my time with the community in Singapore. So I'm in government contacts, social media, etc., etc. I'm very, very familiar with them. So it's really a delight and a pleasure to have you, Michael, spending time with me this evening on your side and in the morning for me.
Yeah. And kind of in that vein too. So you've been a businessman and entrepreneur for 20 plus years now. So I'm curious, what's in it for you, Albert? What is in this that's the spark that keeps you going?
I guess at the end of the day, it's really, really just one word: passion. So I'm already in my 60s, but a lot of people look at me and say, "Oh, you don't look like 60s." And this is true. My son is only 28. He lives in Melbourne. He came back for a brief holiday, and then I started to bring him along for my usual day-to-day work. After 2 weeks only, right? He's 28, I'm 60. He says that I'm very, very tired. He complains to the mommy, and the mommy sort of knocked me and say, "Hey, he's here on a holiday. Why are you making him run around?" So end of the day, I don't feel the tiredness because it's the passion. Number one. Number two, I really, really, really enjoy meeting people like yourself, Michael, and the rest of the people listening in. And I hope I have a chance to meet you. I think our day-to-day life operates very differently if we start to look at people, talk to people, learn from people, understand the people's needs. So I always have this principle in any partnership, in any dealing. I guess it has to be a mutual win-win. And my usual mode of operation is I will listen to you, I will speak your language.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would echo a lot of that sentiment there. I would agree with you. While I'm not doing much traveling around, I often am sitting at my desk talking with people like yourself from all over the world. I definitely enjoy building connections and bonds with people, whether or not anything financially beneficial comes out of it or not. People are interesting, and there's a lot of wealth in just knowing people, in my opinion. And I also want to echo the sentiment you had said about when you're doing something that you believe in and you enjoy doing, you can work a lot harder and longer than you can doing something that you don't enjoy. That's just good life advice for everyone watching this right now. If you're doing something you actually believe in, you can put 16 hours in and you'll feel better about it than you do putting 10 hours in at a job you hate. So that's just kind of wisdom from Albert here. So thank you for sharing that with us. And I guess last but not least, talk to me about being an executive director. So talk to me about what that entails for you being an executive director at MBC.
Okay, so for me, it's very simple. Sometimes people ask me, why do you do that? As I mentioned, I have 20 years of corporate experience. I run my own business, 25 years of private corporate experiences in senior positions. So I am able to strike a balance. And that's what Marina Bay is all about. We are not here again just to get a deal done, get a mandate done, but we are really here to help to contribute. So there are a couple of key values that Marina Bay offers, which is, in my opinion, the key differentiation. Number one, because of our experience in Asia Pacific, we are able to give you access to Asia from America, from North America, right? And vice versa. So there's a lot of ambitious, successful entrepreneur in Asia who likes to actually move themselves into America, which is the place where everybody loves to be, NASDAQ, NYSE. Therefore, we link the two together. And Marina Bay, the other major differentiation is because we don't just look at the business. We look at the value system, the culture, and why are we doing it, and why are we doing it together. At the end of the day, our intention is not a one-off deal. We want to hold your hands. We want to walk through with you. We want to help you restructure, re-strategize, remarketing it, so that 1 + 1 is not 2 plus, but 1 + 1 is probably 5, or maybe even more, depending on how we work things out. But having said all this, these are things that we like to contribute to our clients. But to be truthful, not always successful, because it takes time for us to build the confidence, the trust, doing a little bit to open up the window and then stepping into the door, and eventually we are in the same car, not on the same bed, but in the same car, driving and flying and getting things done, and that excites both parties even more. So that's what we do in Marina Bay. And in Asia, I think everybody knows is one of the largest growing market, and a lot of big people are coming up. Example, like even Indonesia, right? Some of you may not have been to Indonesia, but it's a very complex country. And if you look at the World Economic Forum forecast, Indonesia in 2030 will be the world's 7th largest country, example, or around there. Yep. So lots of opportunity, and all these successful entrepreneurs would hope to move themselves from Indonesia to America, and that's what we are here to bring value. So we're offering a twin system between Asia and North America, and I hope people who are keen speak to us. Nick in Canada, myself in Asia Pacific, and we are more than delighted to meet either on Zoom or face to face anytime to get things going. And most importantly, like I said, to build the relationship and the love to share with one another.
Yeah, very well said. Business that lasts is business where everybody benefits. And I like that philosophy of the 1 + 1 doesn't have to equal 2, because I would also put that as together we can be greater than the sum of our parts. And I've got to know Nick a little bit now. And Albert, thank you so much for coming on so I could get to know you. And hopefully everybody watching, if you guys have any questions, do not be shy. Please send them over, and stay tuned for another update coming soon. Albert, any last words before we go?
No, Michael, thank you for your time, and to the rest of the listener or viewers, thank you for your time, and I hope to learn from you. Lots to learn in this world, and I hope to meet you and build a relationship and move forward as a friend, and hopefully we can do some business together. And
Well,
thank you, Michael, for your time. I know it's night for you and many other listeners, but appreciate your time. Thank you very much, Michael.
thank you very much. It was great meeting you, and please have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too. Have a very good rest and very good evening, Michael.